Good evening, spooks and creeps alike. This is your host, Jeeps and Creeps. Let's just slither right into this one, shall we? What was that thing? This all happened 2 years ago, 2020 of April 20th to be exact. And I first encountered this thing one night when I was sitting around my campfire. I just happened to look over at my neighbor's window, and I seen this weird, sickly-looking dog staring back at me. I knew my neighbors really well, was best friends with them, in fact, and I thought, oh, maybe they adopted an older dog. I'll ask them tomorrow when I see them. And that's exactly what I did. They looked at me confused and said, "Dog? We don't own a dog." I said, "I seen this really old-looking dog in y'all's windows last night." And that's when it all started. The next night, I was sitting in my chair next to the fireplace with a sleeping puppy in my lap, reading a book. When all of a sudden, I heard a big bark, so loud that it hurt my ears from it. It sounded like it was coming from the backyard. My dog, now fully awake, looks at me in a "you heard that too" kind of way. And I instantly got up and walked to my back window. I seen two eyes glaring down at me from the yard, so I grabbed a light and shined it through my open window. I seen an old dog, the same old dog from the night before, in the window, but it wasn't a dog. Well, not a normal one. It was all gray with strange bulging eyes and a tongue hanging to the side with dried blood on its upper lip. I turned around and got my hunting rifle, and with my pistol on my hip rifle in my hand. I got my flashlight and went out back. As I opened the door, I noticed the dog was nowhere to be seen. Like it just vanished in thin air. Gone. So I went back inside, confused and wondering what the hell I just saw, or if I even saw it. And I sat back down and decided it was time to go to bed. I started brushing my teeth when I heard a super loud bark again. I peeked out the blinds, and there was nothing this time. No eyes, nothing, just a bark that seemed to come from nowhere, seemingly nowhere. I shook it off and walked to my bedroom, laid back down. I finally nodded off to sleep 30 minutes later. And not even 30 minutes later, I heard a loud bark again. And every hour I woke up again to a really loud bark. That's when I finally had enough, when I woke up again. The alarm clock read 3 a.m. in bright red numbers. I grabbed my pistol off my nightstand and headed down the hallway with my dog not far behind. I turned around the corner to go down the stairs, and there it was, at the bottom of my stairs, staring at me. Moonlight shining on it like an eerie monster from a movie. I aimed my pistol as my dog started crying at the point that I knew it wasn't my imagination that it was there anymore. I aimed and shot one round into its face. It seemed to bounce off the beast, and it barked loud and slowly, walked away. I ran down the stairs, flipping on the light, and it was gone. Nowhere to be found. I was confused and scared, shaking so bad. I sat in my chair wondering what the heck that was. I faced grizzly bears at 30 yards with just a bow in the Yukon. Wrestled bulls, but this made me shake. As I'm thinking, I heard 3 knocks at my door, and it made me jump. I ran to the door and opened it, ready for anything. Luckily, it was just Adam and Bree. They heard the shot and ran over. I told them what happened. They looked at me confused, but believed me because of how shooken up I was. It's 2 years later, and I have nightmares often about it. I haven't seen it since, though. I moved away from that area and bought a bunch of land with Adam and Bree. But sometimes I can't help but wonder, what the hell was that thing?